absence in the light. Only you can make this better. Wishing away these dusty days. Just know we're all in this together.
My name is Andy Carter. I'm married with my wife. We have 2 children. One's 10 and one's 6, and they're both 2 girls.
My name is Stuart Flaherty. I am a loving and devoted husband, and I've got 2 incredible girls, an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old.
First child was amazing. I felt absolutely brilliant. Top of the world, effectively. She made everything make sense. Felt absolutely brilliant. It was my second child that I really struggled with. I struggled with that whole sort of the first child, massive connection. Second child, nothing. Felt guilty for not feeling anything. Probably took about 18 months before I actually started feeling like that was my child.
I stopped going out so much. I stopped talking to my friends as much. I've become quite withdrawn, quite quick to anger, quick to emotions. I've put it down to a lack of sleep at the time, but it just wasn't going away. At the time, my focus was on my wife and my daughter, and that was all that really mattered to me. But it just built up and built up until I nearly took my own life. My wife and my daughter were upstairs having a nap, and I decided that my family would be better off without me. That's how I felt. I had locked myself into the kitchen. I was in floods of tears, but I'd convinced myself it was the right thing to do for my family. My daughter woke up from a nap and cried. She'd woken up. A minute later, I might not be here. I went upstairs, I cuddled my daughter, and I made a promise to her there and then that I would never leave her. And I still feel ashamed that I let myself get to that point. But she's 8 years old now, and I have a 4-year-old, and I'm still in their life.
I felt very embarrassed to start off with. Then I did open up to my wife about it. But me being me, I've made a bit more of a joke of it, and a thing. It was probably about 6 months into feeling like that I said, this doesn't feel quite right, and she'd already noticed anyway. I mean, truthfully, at that point, didn't even know that I potentially was suffering with something like postnatal depression. I just put it down to man being grumpy and not quite feeling himself. But yeah, looking back now over it, yeah, it was. If I'd known that this sort of thing existed, I probably would have sought help more then. Yeah.
So I had an amazing support network around me with regards to my wife, my mother, grandparents, father-in-law. They were brilliant, but their focus, as well as my focus, was on my wife and my newborn child. I didn't feel that I had anyone I could really talk to honestly about how I was feeling, because in my own head I felt it was a bit selfish for me to be feeling like that. I had everything that I wanted. So really, I bottled it up. Fortunately, I come across a mental health charity designed for men to go and talk, and just having that outlet, that place to go and talk openly with other men who are struggling themselves, it really did help. But it was, I first had to come to grips with the fact that I needed help.
I never contacted the perinatal team for myself. My wife, through the second birth, was with the perinatal team all the way. So I probably at that point didn't know I could. Now, a bit different, a bit more time's passed. I know there is more help out there, especially for dads and men who kind of sometimes feel like they get not ignored, but it's about them. You know, the mum's giving the birth, the dad's just there to hold the hand and be, you know, the person they're meant to be. But sometimes you can't always be that person, and I know now there is people there to help you through that.
There is a stigma around regarding men's mental health, especially when you have a new child. It's the mother that matters, you know, that's how I viewed it. It's the mother that matters, the child that matters. I put myself last. I think a lot of men do. I felt ashamed that I was feeling so low. There is no shame in it. It's new, everything's new, and if you're feeling low, reach out, get help. There is no shame in it, there is support out there. And I said previously, it's something I wish I had done sooner, instead of letting it build up to the point where I nearly took my own life. So if you're in that place, don't feel ashamed, don't be afraid, reach out and seek the help.
The most important thing is don't suffer in silence. The support is there, the help is there, but you have to ask for it. You have to let people know what's going on for you, and speak to your GP, speak to friends, speak to the perinatal team if they're involved, and make sure you get some help and support. You deserve that support, and the support is definitely there if you're prepared to access it.
Now I feel like I'm in a good place now. I generally do. I feel a lot more comfortable, especially talking about stuff like this. A few years ago, I wouldn't even think about opening up and talking to anyone. Having now done it a few times, it definitely makes stuff feel better. It's the weight off the chest, it's the weight off your shoulders sort of thing. Probably that old saying, problem shared is a problem halved.
If you are struggling and if you're feeling low, don't be embarrassed by it. I know feeling depressed can be quite a lonely place, and it can feel like you are the only person going through it. I can promise you, you're not. Find that support, find that help for yourself. I didn't feel like I was worth anything, I felt worthless. But my wife and my kids don't feel like that. If you are struggling, find that help. It is out there, and it works, it does work.
Time, there's never too much. Time forever on our minds. We try to climb inside the concept behind what keeps us all alive. So run faster than you think you can, bolder than your master plan. For we are strong, we all belong, and all we have is time.